That is like butter.
Hey, I'm James from Smokin' Dad Barbecue, and welcome. You are in for a treat. Today we're going to be reverse searing a Wagyu tri-tip, and I couldn't be more excited, not only for this cook, but also to share a little bit more about a method that I've been using more and more lately. I've never done a video on it. In fact, I haven't even seen it anywhere else. And so for today's video, I'm going to be doing a lot of talking about the soapstone from Kamado Joe. You've been asking what are some of my favorite accessories, and this is definitely at the top of my list. So if you're looking for deals, whether it's Black Friday or holidays or a gift, this would be one that I'd put in the top 3 for sure. And I wish I had discovered it earlier. What do I love about it? Well, exactly what we're gonna do today, where I'm gonna be using the soapstone in a dual capacity manner. For the first part of our cook, it's going to serve as our heat barrier. We're gonna have the coals right underneath that, and it's gonna create a nice indirect zone, as well as directing and pushing our smoke. I've got a way I think I can illustrate exactly what's happening inside of the Kamado Joe, see if that comes through on camera using a pellet tube smoker to show you how the smoke will roll around the soapstone. And then at the end of our cook, when it comes time for inferno mode and doing our sear, our soapstone will be preheated in position, and it'll be sort of no touch in order to switch from our reverse sear cooking to our hot and fast cooking. So without any further ado, let's move a little bit closer. I'll show you exactly how to set up if you want to do the exact same thing at home, and we'll get the fire started.
Okay, so we've just lit our fire, so we're gonna give this a chance to start to bring our dome up to temperature and wait for this smoke to go from white and billowy to clear blue clean smoke. Just wanted to point out our setup for today. So I've got all of our charcoal on the side, as you can see, right down to the bottom. There's nothing there, so we're gonna get great airflow. The next thing that we did is I put one of our cooking grids on the bottom, set the soapstone on top. The soapstone can go on here without the cooking grid. I wouldn't really use that if outside of anything other than maybe smash burgers where you'll be pushing down. But the number one cause of breakage is when people sort of just try and pick this up and sort of let it slam down, etc. And it's those drops. And so just to help keep it all secure, I don't need the other grid, so go ahead and install that and put the soapstone on top. Now I've pushed this back as far as I can, and what you can see is that smoke is hitting this, and I would say 90% of it is coming out in this pattern. And so this is exactly what we want. We're gonna go ahead and install our second grid here. And while this is overly smoky, it gives us a good visual of how the heat and smoke is going to come up, hit our tri-tip, which we'll have right up here raised, and we're gonna cook that until we reach our targeted internal temperature for a medium rare. We'll then open all of our vents up, get the fire just flying, and then we'll use our soapstone for that sear. So let's go ahead and let this come up to temperature, and then we'll throw on our tri-tip. Okay, we are right at 250 degrees. Smoke looks good, smells amazing. So I'll just go ahead and place this right here. And now I'm gonna get our meter probe out of the box, off camera here. And what I'll do is I'm just gonna find a nice thick spot, not the thickest because I don't wanna be overcooked here and just medium here. So I maybe go a little bit closer down towards the tip and know that this will give me sort of an early chance to check the doneness on the thicker part. When you're installing your probe, you don't want to go directly tight to the meat, as you won't get a good read on the ambient temperature. So we're going to go at about a 45-degree angle right here. Looks good. So that once I'm at that line, which is right here, I'm at the middle of the steak, and I've got sort of great air separation in order to get a true ambient temperature that won't be thrown off by the meat itself. So let's go ahead, close that up. Everything looks good. All right, our steak has hit an internal temperature of about 121 degrees. Now, I didn't record this, but just want to point out one of the nice things about the meter is it gives us an estimated time remaining. And so our total cook time for our indirect portion was about 40 minutes. And so once I saw 20 minutes elapsed, about 20 minutes to go, I did come out and just flip our steak, take the probe out and reinsert it on the other side, just to make sure that we're getting absolute even doneness. So I'm gonna move the camera a little bit closer. We're gonna pull this off now, let it rest so that internal temperature will continue to climb a little bit and then start settling down. And in the meantime, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our vents and let that charcoal just start to bring the soapstone up to an awesome searing temperature. Oh, that looks good. Smell is amazing. Again, we don't have any crust or anything yet. That's what we're gonna do later on when we hit the soapstone. Let's go ahead and get that off. And I'm gonna open the bottom vent all the way and go ahead and open our top vent. All right, our resting period is over, and as you can tell, we've lost daylight quite quickly, but good news is we're almost done. So all we have to do is quickly blast sear this now that we're at inferno mode. So we are running at about 500 degrees at the dome, but remember, we only have a half basket of charcoal and our soapstone is sitting directly above it. If I had one of those fancy infrared readers, I suspect we are much, much, much higher. And so the plan here is just to drop on our Wagyu tri-tip and then move it around every 20 seconds or so we don't get any burning, but we get a great Maillard reaction. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer as this is going to happen very, very quickly and we won't have a lot of time to balance between cooking and also keeping you up to date. So that's the game plan. Let's go a little closer and sear this Wagyu tri-tip to perfection. All right, I should mention while it was resting, I left the meter probe in and we went from 121 all the way up to just about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is how much carryover cooking we got. Let's go ahead and drop this on our soapstone. And again, every 15 to 20 seconds or so, I'm gonna move it around so we don't get any burning. All right, let's go ahead and slice this up and see how we did. I'm just gonna go here against the grain because the grain switches at about this spot. So we'll just cut right through. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. So let's go ahead and make some slices. All right, let's dig in and see how we did. I've already found my piece. I'm gonna go right here and take a slice. Here we are. Great doneness, even all the way through. We're not going black, brown, gray, a little pink, some red, and then reverse. We've just got crust and then medium rare. That is like butter. Unbelievable. The only thing I will add when we serve this up for dinner is a little bit of finishing salt. I've got two that are my favorite. We'll go ahead and put the link down below, but I love a fleur de sel as well as Maldron's smoked salt. If you ever find those two or either of those ones in your grocery store, I highly recommend them. They're great for just a little bit of extra pop when you're serving steaks family style like this. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. If there's something else you'd like to see me cook, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, please hit that like and subscribe button and I'll see you then. And remember, don't be afraid to fire it up.